All right, it's telling everybody now.
Morning pack, live from Canine Perspective. You guys seem to like the last live that we did, so Jesse and I wanted to do another one today. I think I made a post a couple days ago about running the count, because you guys could hear it going on in the background of a play group, so we thought we would show you guys what that looks like, just so you can get a little more insight into your dog's day here when they come to Canine Perspective. So there's a couple of reasons why we do the count. Number one, obviously this is a business. We want to make sure if your dog is here that you're being charged for it and they are checked in accountably. But number two, safety. We want to make sure all the dogs, all their belongings, all their meals, everything our staff might need to know for the day is accounted for. And then you guys have probably seen it. We've posted about it before. You can see it in the back of some of our videos. We have our big whiteboard that corresponds to the count. So we want to make sure every dog is assigned the proper kennel number with their proper belongings in their belongings bin. Any trays that indicate lunches, you can see here in Bailey's bin, medications, food, feeding instructions, and then we do the count just to make sure that we have the proper kennel number associated with the right dog and on the big whiteboard. So I'm going to radio Maria so we can start the count. Hey Maria, ready for the count? So while we do this, I always like to carry, and I have the staff carry an extra green bin or two. Sometimes morning check-ins get really busy for daycare. You guys know you've probably pulled up and seen other clients here at the same time as you as well. So sometimes the staff doesn't have time to put the right bins. We like to denote lunch dogs getting green bins so that the staff doesn't forget.
Elizabeth, who's doing the count?
I'm going to do the count, not Mariano. Sorry, the staff usually does it. So Maria's making sure this is authorized. Obviously, Jesse and I are usually busy with a million other things, so it's uncommon for me to do the count, but we wanted to show you guys how that works today. So you can see too, do you want to show them, honey? So all of our kennels are numbered as well, so that the corresponding number goes on the whiteboard for the right dog. So Joey is a lunch eater. He's already got a green bin. Nate must have had time this morning during check-ins to put it in his bin, so these aren't needed right now. But I am going to communicate to Maria that we're ready to start the count. I'm at kennel 1, and we're going to begin. Ready, Maria? Kennel 1, Joey, daycare.
Check.
Kennel 2, Bino, daycare. Now you guys are going to see that Bino also has lunch. It looks like he has lunch and dinner for today, so I'm going to be sure that I mark that on the board accordingly. Mom and Dad were so kind. They even labeled which one is lunch and which one is dinner. It looks like he gets a little maybe probiotic pill or something with his dinner, so we make sure that we always label them. Shh, Daisy. So now I've got his bin in the right kennel. Daisy, kennel 3, daycare. Penny, kennel 4, daycare. Lucy, kennel 5, daycare. So Mondays are a good day to show you guys the count because it's typically our slowest daycare day of the week. We do have a lot of boarders who are still here from the weekend, but we're going to skip.
Watch out.
There's a hose behind me. We're going to skip the next couple kennels and then resume the count with our boarding dogs. All of our kennels go in order numerically, 1 through 54. We can add more as needed, but then we like to keep the boarding dogs on this section by the back garage for the back lot for potty breaks, and then the daycare dogs all go closest to the front door where you guys usually meet us for quick picks. I've got Bubbles, kennel 11, boarding.
Check.
Jimmy, kennel 12, boarding.
Check.
Dobby, kennel 13, boarding.
Check.
Reggie, kennel 14, boarding, going home today. Luna, kennel 15, boarding. Luna's passed out. Kennel 16, empty. Hoover, kennel 17, boarding. So this is a good time to tell you guys too, Luna and Hoover are siblings. So they're not together right now because they usually typically only sleep together overnight. If you do have siblings in our care or even close friends, you're allowed to request that they kennel together, but we always feed separate. So everyone still gets assigned their own kennel just for feeding purposes. And then if it makes them more comfortable or you more comfortable, they are allowed to spend the night together. And then we'll probably put them in the same kennel later today. They just got done playing and eating and all those things. So we're giving them a little decompression time. Sometimes Luna needs a break from Hoover. You guys know how that goes. We're gonna skip because those ones are empty. Those dogs checked out this morning. When we loop around, you guys can see the back garage out to the back lot, so that's why we do what we do. And if you noticed, other than Luna and Hoover, because of when they checked in for boarding, we tend to keep short-haired dogs on the opposite side during the winter and long-coated dogs on this side, because when the garage door is open in the morning, it does get a little more chilly. Not a problem for our friend Marshall. You can find him at Longcoat Marshall if you want to follow him on Instagram. Kennel 20, Marshall, boarding.
Check.
Kennel 21, Cash, boarding.
Cash money check.
Kennel 22, Maeve, boarding. 23, Arlo, boarding. 24 is empty. 25, Tiger, boarding. 26, Rue.
Check.
Rue is our facility dog. If you guys ever want to learn more about her, shoot us an email. Juna, board and train tune-up, 27. Juna and Longa not using their beds, which is really funny. Remember, guys, we do have radiant heated floors, so sometimes the dogs do opt to get off the duration mat and then come onto the floor, which is really cute. Longa Nisa, 28, board and train.
Check.
Buddy, 29, boarding. Oliver, 30, boarding. And then we're gonna skip a few more kennels. I'll look behind me so I don't hit any more hoses. Too late. Pregnant lady on the loose. Bailey, 37, boarding.
Check.
And then we go over to our transport kennels. So these are these awesome silver kennels that Jesse moved from all the way in the back of our 18,000 square foot facility and brought over here to the front so that all of the dogs are in the same room. Under the previous ownership, this building was a doggy daycare and boarding facility, but it was not a quiet kennel. It had no structure. So they had to separate all of the dogs because even with something like 10, 15 dogs, when we used to come tour the property before purchasing it, it was a mass. Dogs were barking. As you guys know, like canine is my only experience with a doggy daycare type of facility. So I was always just like, oh my God, honey, I gotta go. This barking is driving me crazy. So they would literally separate the dogs by an entire facility just to try to maintain some semblance of structure. We are Canine Perspective. We don't need that. So we want all the dogs in one room together. So we've got our garage behind us for the transport van park. So we come in, we load the dogs along the silver kennels, and then again, the daycare and the boarders go on the opposite side. So everything is really regimented, and Jesse and I like to make it as easy as possible for our staff and as easy as possible for the dogs. 39, Maple and Mookie, transport. 40, Yo-Yo, transport. 41, Map, transport. 42, Uni, transport. 43, Rainy, transport. 44, Murphy M, transport. 45, Velvy.
Check.
Copy, thank you. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's how we do the count. Yeah, as you guys can see, there's a lot of structure to what we do. Again, it's making it as easy as possible on the staff, as easy as possible on the dogs, and making sure we don't lose track of anyone's belongings, anything like that. Do you want to show them the whiteboard, honey, before we...
We can do it another time, maybe as a separate video.
Okay, let's do a separate live for the whiteboard so you guys
Yeah.
can see everyone's activities. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you have a wonderful, brisk Monday. We'll see you guys next time.
I always forget how to stop.